A myth or common excuse to go vegan is that the diet it implies is more expensive than a carnist diet, that is, composed of animals and their secretions or byproducts. I'd like to be vegan or to reduce my meat intake, but being vegan is very expensive. This is a very common belief among the uninformed. Many bipeds are influenced, perhaps brainwashed, by a category of products, their advertising, their packaging, even by what some would name green or eco-capitalism, available in supermarkets and promoted at events, outdoor markets, and fairs. Those uninformed about a vegan transition or foods with more than enough nutritional value to replace anti-foods that we do not need may believe it is necessary to consume packaged plant-based meats or milks. Vegetable meats are intensely prepared products, usually pre-cooked with soy, gluten, flours, condiments, and many ingredients. They tend to be expensive because of the preparation they entail. Also plant-based milks, as almond milk. These products are part of the market supply. They are a quick and efficient solution, but they are far from being a commodity. They are far from being an imperative of a vegan diet. This is not intended as criticism of these products that I myself consider very convenient, and many of them as promoters of veganism. And even more, if their producers have an ethical basis, are cruelty-free, labor exploitation-free, and even better, if they work in surreal but ideal horizontal structures. It's not the purpose of this video to comment on distorted veganism as a consumer option or on green capitalism, only to debunk the myth of vegan diet prices. A carnist may buy a corpse piece from a cheap butcher or a packed meat dish in an expensive supermarket, eat from a downtown food truck or in a fancy restaurant. It is the same dynamic. There is an overwhelming variety of legumes, that is, commodities, that supply enough protein, the macronutrient that usually enters discussion and skewed perceptions. The macronutrient that will be analyzed to reach a more specific conclusion of the nutritional issue. So other important nutrients or plant sources that do provide protein, but in a lower percentage than legumes, will not be evaluated. This, taking into account and emphasizing that supplements are not necessary to be vegan. The only supplement suggested by specialists such as Dr. Michael Greger for both vegans and non-vegans is vitamin B12. The recommended dietary allowance, RDA, for protein is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. The average adult needs from 46 to 56 grams of protein per day, according to the sources included in the video description. But many do just fine with less than that. These numbers are easily achievable from plant sources. For those who have higher requirements due to sports, there are vegan supplements that provide amino acids, such as the supplements based on cow secretions that are widely used. The amino acids of vegetable sources are complete, and if there might be a slight disproportion of essential amino acids, a relevant issue only for those who are elite athletes or competitive bodybuilders, the combination of plant sources solves it. The same relevance applies to protein bioavailability that matters little to at least 95% of humanity that does not enter into the groups described. This is not an analysis focused on athletes with higher protein needs, so it does not include a comparison of nutritional supplements such as those from cow secretions. We will compare protein and price of 3 legumes that can be found almost everywhere, as well as 3 meats in boneless cuts and low fat to make the comparison more accurate. The compared weight is 100 grams. Raw lentils, 25 grams of protein. Raw chickpeas, 20 grams of protein. Raw black beans, 22 grams of protein. Ground beef, about 80% lean, 20% fat, 17 grams of protein. Pork, lean chop without bone, 29 grams of protein. Chicken, lean breast without bone, 28 grams of protein. Dairy products have not been included in the analysis, since without protein isolation processes, they are a reduced protein source in proportion to their weight versus meat. In 100 grams of whole milk, we can find approximately 3.1 grams of protein. It is similar with soy milk. If animal milk is a transition problem, homemade soy or oat milk are very inexpensive versus packed almond milk, for example. And if homemade, they can cost down to less than a fourth of cow secretions. This comparison includes price collected in the month of March 2022 in 7 cities. The data was personally provided by friends from middle-class markets of retail packaged products from the same commerce. They are not the cheapest nor the most expensive. These are the prices collected in Brasilia, Brazil, in their local currency, in this case, reales, from the stated grocery store, in this case, pan de azúcar. The prices of Buenos Aires, Argentina, in Argentinian pesos. The prices of Cáceres, Spain, stated in euros. The prices of Miami, USA, in dollars. The prices of Quito, Ecuador, in dollars. The prices of Toronto, Canada, in Canadian dollars. Torreón, Mexico, in Mexican pesos. This is the average of the price sources, converting them to the US dollar. From here, we can determine the price per gram of protein for each item. Averaging up the 3 plant and meat sources, we get this cost per gram, an analysis that doesn't consider other valuable nutrients found in legumes and the incomparable shelf life they have. In terms of a monetary variable, X, it can be determined that 1 gram of vegetable protein costs X, and 1 gram of meat protein costs 2.7 times X. That is, in the Western sources gathered. The data can be skewed and vary significantly depending on the place of purchase, and some cities don't have local products, which may distort prices. I invite you to check the ratio in your location. The price ratio between meat and legume protein is at least 2 to 1, meaning it costs at least twice to get protein from animal flesh. The unescapable conclusion is that being vegan is a lot cheaper. We must promote the debunking of the price excuse by not allowing others to use it.